love that every day I try and make the G'day Legends sound more and more insane and unhinged. Every day. G'day Legends! It's so inappropriate. It's such a horrible way to start a live stream, isn't it? Oh my god, where am I up to? That ain't it. Boys, hang on. You think with all the time I give myself to set the stream up, I'd have it correct. You think I'd come prepared, chat? Hang on 1 second. We'll get it. Well, just give me 1 second. We'll get it going. There we go, chat. There you are. Hello, my beautiful chat. How is my beautiful, beautiful chat? What's up, Don Calamari? Shout out to Perth, mate. How are you going? Nina Drama did not steal my theme song. Actually, I think she did. I remember hearing a Nina Drama interview. Yes, I think she did, actually. You're right, Don Calamari. How are you, Alpeg? What's good? What's good, Mr. C? How are you, man? Sign time. It's sign time. We're going to light her up today. Today's the day. We'll wait for a couple of people to get here. We're going to light it up today. Obviously, we're going to celebrate having the sign. But we also really need to talk about what's going on at the UFC. Up to 100 fights might have been fixed. Up to 100 fights. Crazy. Possibly more. Who knows how deep this is going to go. I've even got bookmarked tweets. I've got tweets from some of the fighters that are confirming Ariel Helwani's story that they have been approached and offered to throw fights as well. Haven't seen Luke Thomas's video. Saw Ariel's video. Saw some of the news. Yeah, like the fighters have been approached to throw fights. Crazy stuff. Also makes you wonder about everything that's going on with some of the decisions that we see from the refereeing. It's a massive scandal. Should light it up straight away with just a 5% here. No, Don Calamari. We'll let it build a little bit, mate. How are you, Nacho? Good to see you, man. How are you, Belows? Good eye. How are you, brother? Shout out to the Warrnambool boys. How are you, man? I've seen Scorn and touch Nacho. I might have given him a pat on the back, but it was nothing untoward. How are you, M Operator? How are you, man? Just been an incoherent scream. So it will just be soon. Soon it won't even be a G'day Legends. It'll just be a... It'll be absolutely unhinged, man. Barlow's contract must be reinstated. This could go so deep, Nacho. It really could. It could go so deep, man. How are you, Shyla? Good to see you. Referees have been approached as well. I know. I can't believe it. Last week, and Super Shotgun, I love our channel so much. I love our channel so much. There are times where I get to do a big slam dunk on the chat, and I get to laugh at the chat. And then, you know, often there's times where the chat get to laugh at me and slam dunk on me. And, you know, a few weeks ago, I was saying in the live stream while we were watching the fights, again and again and again, I was saying it all night long, I like Jason Herzog. I think Jason Herzog's a good ref. I think he's an underappreciated ref. The one referee that's been called out by name, none other than Jason Herzog. Jason Herzog has been called out by name. So we got a lot of stuff to get into. Match fixing has always happened. We just need to know if the Pink Man is involved. Well, the Pink Man loves gambling. The Fertitta brothers own casinos and they helped start the UFC. The Pink Man sort of owns the Las Vegas Commission with how the Las Vegas Commission is now moving. There's so many pieces here. We're going to have to get out the whiteboard, but there are reasons to believe that the Pink Man could be involved with how much money that he gives to the sporting commissions and how the sporting commissions are now in bed with TKO to change the Ali Act. It's not good. And also David Ornama. David Ornama is involved as well. There is a post from Sherdog back in the day accusing David Onama of fight fixing, and believe it or not, David Onama trains at the same gym that Isaac Delgarian trains at. Also used to train under James Crouch as well. And David Onama threw 2 shots in the main event this weekend. It is not good. It is not good. 100 fights might have been fixed. This could be insane corruption. Yeah, well, the question is, Shyla, is it corruption? Like, is the UFC aware? Or is it something that is between the fighters and the referees? Is it happening on one-off events? Like, we don't know. It's going to be pretty insane. There is a suggestion of corruption with the fact that the UFC were told about the weird gambling activity that was going on this week's Apex card, and they chose to just allow the fight to go on. It's going to be G'day Legends, but just all vowels. It'll just be all vowels. It'll just be one long slur on Calamari. I wonder if they will release which fight it was. I don't think they will, Dig. No. So I did listen to Ariel Helwani. Now, the NBA investigation that just got sorted last weekend or 2 weeks ago, that investigation went for 4 years, according to Ariel Helwani, which is why James Krause still hasn't been charged with anything, or it's been finalized for James Krause. So, yeah, this is going to take a long time, but it's going to affect the sport pretty deep. In fact, the sport has got we do need to get the whiteboard out, because the sport has got a tornado of problems coming towards it, with Ali Abdelaziz being forced to give up all of these messages between the fighters and the UFC in court as well, which is going to show whether or not the managers actually work for the UFC or whether or not the managers work for their clients, the fighters. And Ali Abdelaziz has already been involved with corruption like this before over at the PFL. So there are multiple things spiraling towards the UFC at the moment. This scandal is as juicy as fuck. Actually, I'm grabbing the popcorn and sitting back and enjoying. Yeah, it is going to be, that music's a little bit loud, isn't it? It is going to be a bit of a bloodbath. It's going to be crazy. All pro sports are fucking cooked. They are, Kyle. Yeah, they are. Pro sports are fucking cooked. Yeah. We're getting rid of him, finally. We're getting rid of the bald bastard, finally. Herzog was the ref for the fight that recently broke the knockdown record. Yes, he was. That's right, Mr. C. I messaged him after that fight, and I said, well done. That was so fun to watch. How are the Fertitas still involved with the UFC? I thought they sold it in 2016. No, they're not still involved with it, Shiloh, but there's a line of like, well, casino owners and people who are involved in gambling, and, you know, casinos make sure the house always wins. Casino owners, you know, started the UFC, and now we've got gambling problems. Can we also take a small amount of time to reflect on how retarded Steve Garcia is for calling out Max Holloway for a BMF title shot? Yes! Yes, Nacho, we can. Yes, absolutely we can. How can you suggest that when Onama fought so heroically? I know, Woe Black Betty. I mean, he did such a wonderful and amazing Anthony Smith impression. How dare I suggest that Onama didn't want to be there? I don't think it's from the higher up. There's too many results that Dana hates. Well, I have a theory that if the UFC are involved, they do not want it to be at the higher level events that have a lot of scrutiny. Now, prelims and Apex fights, small fights that people aren't going to care about, very easy to sneak them through. You know what I mean? Where if things like Magomed Ankalaev winning and Bilal Muhammad winning and Merab Dvalishvili winning, if things like this never happened, then people would begin to question the sport too much. Yeah, so I think the UFC always want to tread the line of this is a real sporting competition, this is real fights. So there are things that happen that Dana hates, but then they also might make a lot of money on the back end from a certain referee making fights go the distance when they clearly should have been finished. Ali Abdullah bloody Z's, you mad tool of a thing. I'm very excited about Ali getting outed. Me too, Alpeg. Me too. Dougie sent Herzog nudes. I did. I sent him a photo of just me dick and went, that's how hard that fight made me, mate. Can we imagine if Dana has been taking brown envelope bribes? I can imagine, Shiloh. Maybe not brown envelope bribes, but maybe a certain line of credit at casinos. Dana White loves gambling. Maybe when, you know, the private room that he goes into and he gets given a certain line of credit to gamble with, and they don't mind if he cashes it out. The mind and the lines that can be drawn from all of this happening are insane. You could begin, now that this first domino has been knocked over, the questions that could be asked and would be fair to be asked lead us down a very dark place of just how legitimate is this entire circus. Notifications aren't popping up. Time to turn on the sign. I guess so. I guess since the notifications aren't popping up and Guru's here, we're probably going to struggle to get 20 people here, and we're not doing a vertical stream. We'll see. We'll see how we go. We'll let it run for a little bit. We've only been live for about 10 minutes. We'll see what happens. Anthony Smith is involved. I remember the betting line for "You're attacking my family" was huge. It was huge, wasn't it? It was massive. Will he say "You're attacking my family" again? Luke Thomas talks about it, all lower level stuff. Dudes on 10 and 10 for the fights are much more likely to take an L for some dosh. That is true, Alpeg. They are more likely to take an L But the NBA betting scandal, those guys are on millions and millions of dollars, and they're still throwing games, or they're still not having the right amount of court time or taking themselves out of games before they're meant to. So yeah, Alpeg, it's not just the money, you know, it's just greedy people are going to be greedy people. It's ultimately us that love the sport that are going to be fucked. If it goes real deep and the UFC closes, what happens then? Because it'll just work its way into similar promotions. Well, that is the problem, like with the fight game. Like, yeah, it's, I mean, fight games are always, is this fight fixed? Is this fight fake? Not fake, I mean, the fights are real, but is the outcome predetermined? And, yeah, as long as there's been fighting, this has been a thing that's always been around. I mean, it's just a fact. You've got some dude from the street who's in a boxing fight going in there against some undefeated champion, and there's gambling going on. This is a tale as old as time. I'm not surprised that it has eventually worked its way into the UFC. How are you, Mike? Good to see you, man. I don't think the UFC is involved directly. I think it's groups of individuals within the UFC umbrella, not the top brass. Yeah, maybe not, but I'm just saying, these are very legitimate lines of questions to ask now, right? 0% chance Dana is involved with this scandal. Are you saying that sarcastically, Nacho? Or are you being 100% serious? You don't think there's any chance Dana is involved with this? None? I mean, Vince McMahon was involved in some pretty shady shit. Hunter Biden was involved in some pretty shady... Like, literally, we've seen presidents be involved in shady shit for money. You know, we've seen Nixon, we've seen Biden, Donald Trump is on the Epstein files, Donald Trump is clearly taking money from Israel, you know. We saw it here in Australia, Kevin Rudd was involved with Telstra and the NBN. Currently in Victoria, Dan Andrews is involved with the machete bins. I mean... And everyone's saying, well, you know, this fighter, he's on 10 for 10. He's on 10 for 10. He's going to take the money. We're talking about presidents with millions of dollars in the bank. Nancy Pelosi is involved with insider training. I mean, corruption is corruption is corruption. You can say I don't think Dana is involved, but I don't know. I don't know, Nacho. That's where I'm coming from. You can say Dana is involved. Dana isn't involved. I understand that, but there's been people with a lot more power than Dana White that have been involved in high-level corruption, you know? And Dana White loves a gamble, and he loves money. Dana has been taking a lot of brown things, but it's all from John Jones. Very good, Dig. Can of Worms has definitely been opened. That's the problem, Alpeg. Like, the can of worms has been opened now. This card was the butterfly flapping its wings. I'm interested to see how far this goes. Me too, Bilal. Me too, man. It's wild, dude. It's wild that this little tiny, no one cares about Apex card, because one dumb fighter didn't know how to make it look real enough and yapped on a podcast about how he deserves a percentage of gambling winnings. That was all that it took to just push it. And now all the times that we see fights and we go, why did the ref do that? Why did the ref literally break the rules in the Waldo Ortez Acosta fight? Now, Nacho, you were saying they're allowed to do it in front of an IPO. Ariel confirmed this. That was a fight finishing sequence. The way that Waldo Ortez Acosta fight was literally the wrong way. Like, they broke the rules. They broke the rules of the sport to get Waldo Ortez Acosta back into the ring. Ariel talked about this. Luke Thomas also talked about this as well. Why are the refs literally breaking the rules? Why are fighters so dumb? Why are they so dumb? What is going on here? Yeah, it's a problem now. We're in a real problem position, man. People forget, man. Ali was arrested on September 11th. He was Mr. Operator, and you know what? People don't forget. How are you, Mike? I hope you've been well, man. It happened with the Garcias. They did a lot of things to give Royce an advantage. With the Gracies, that did. Yeah, UFC 1 was literally leaned towards Royce Gracie. Yep. Is that the finality of the sign? This is the sign. We're going to turn it on soon. We'll light the sign up very soon. Nacho, you're being honest. I'll put money on it if anyone wants to. I wouldn't put money on it, but you get what I'm saying, Nacho. I think you understand what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. I'm trying to think of which fights could have been fixed. I could think of a lot of fights that could be fixed. A lot of fights. Particularly those ones where I'm screaming, you're dumb. That fight is dumb. Why are they so dumb? Someone on Facebook is saying John Jones versus Gane was fixed. I mean, that's one of those ones that make you go, where was Cyril Gane in that fight? And this is the domino effect. Like Bilal was saying, this is the butterfly effect now. Now everything is in question. Dana's response to being asked if he's involved in the betting crowd. I mean, who gives a shit? Who gives it? What, you think the fights are fixed? Who gives a shit? They're entertaining. You having a good time? Did you see Flucas's announcement? I did see Flucas's announcement. He is leaving MMA YouTube yet again for a small period of time. Nacho says, where are my kind words? You know what, Nacho? I was literally thinking about this at work today. I was literally, I haven't even read the rest of your paragraph, but I was meaning to do this. Where are my kind words for being back in the top 10? I was so happy to tear me down when I had fallen out. I was thinking about this at work and what I was going to say today on the stream. And I was going to say before we lit up the sign, congratulations, Nacho. I swear to God, this is what I was thinking about. Congratulations, Nacho. Welcome to clawing your way back into the top 10. As Bilal knows, it's not easy to get into the top 10. And quite frankly, you and me battling it out to chase down Jim in that number 1 and number 2 position, it didn't feel the same without you there. Me going after Jim alone, it did for the last 2 weeks, it didn't feel the same. Didn't feel, I need you there. You and me battling for 3rd and 4th as we claw our way to get Jim up there at number 1 and 2. So it's great. I'm genuinely happy that you're back in the top 10. And I can't wait for Bilal to get into the top 10 as well. Imagine Bryce is the one who breaks the silence about him. Jeez. Well, fighters have been. So what should we do? Should we do the sign first? Shall we inaugurate the sign? Shall we turn on the sign? And then I'll bring up some tweets of fighters talking about how they've been offered. How long have you been live for? Only been live for about 20 minutes, not long. Only been live for about 20 minutes. So what should we do? Should we do the sign first? Should we do the sign first, or should we get into some of the tweets? You want to sign? Should we light the sign up? Mike wants the sign lit up. Let's do the sign. All right, let's do the sign. Let's do the sign. Let's amp up. Let's get the sign going a little bit. What do we do? How are we gonna do this? Let's do this fun. You know what? Let's do this fun. Let's make it fun, chat. Let's make it fun. Yeah. Oh great, he's gonna make us pay to turn it on now. I'm not gonna make us pay to turn it on now. Alright. Well, thank you guys so much for this. This you guys did great for this. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Everyone start shooting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, dude. Just had an epileptic prick from the sign. I'm suing. Don't sue me, mate. Sue the UFC. 100% brightness. Probably too much. Bring it down a little bit. There we go. Ooh! Oh, it looks good. Oh, that looks good. Didn't expect it to flash with the music. It's a pretty good sign, isn't it? That's all right. You should order a bigger one. I know you guys wanted the whole fucking background to be all sign. A new sign in the biggest bottle of water, living like an absolute king. You're right, Mike. I'm Dagestani, and the sign is cool and being in a goat. It's not in a goat, Tyler. I know, I've got a huge bottle of water, Mike. I've got my sign. Everything is great. No epilepsy warning. Fuck that shit. I'm from the 90s. There is no epilepsy warning. You should have ordered a bigger one. No. You want one sign in each corner, Charlotte, but then where will the chat go? If the chat is in front of the sign, I mean, imagine if the chat was in front of the sign. That's too much, you see? You can't see the chat. No, chat goes here. This is your part. Chat belongs there. I belong next to you, chat. And then the sign is on the side. This is the stream. We've done it after years. We've actually got the stream set up perfectly, chat. All right. Thank you, intro music. You killed it. Herzog might be fucked. I know. Herzog might be fucked. Herzog might have disappeared. I've deleted chat. Herzog might be fucked. Yeah, Herzog might be fucked. It's as cool as being in a goat. It is as cool as being in a goat. No, that's disgusting. Put the Tamu sign on your front door and we'll get a website made for you offering Dougie's Corner Gigolo services. No, because then there'd be fatties rolling up and we don't want to be doing that, mate. Back in the top 10, flashed in the sign, Tom no aura, things couldn't be better. Well, we could have, you know, some people in the UFC not going to federal prison. That'd be good. Got to decorate around the sign with some MMA shit too. No, I think this is perfect now. We got the nice red light, you know, which we can change up. Like we can switch the red light up for different fights. The sign's set up and it's perfect. I think we're done now for a bit, chat. Until I'm completely retired from plastering. Because one day there's going to be the trowel is going to hang up under the sign. When I finally retire from plastering and I'm not a plasterer anymore, I'm going to hang my trowel up underneath the sign. Never remove the chat when I say something mildly distasteful. I need to know it goes through. No, the chat will always stay. I mean, I'm not interesting. I'm not an interesting person. The chat is the interesting part of the show, so the chat must stay. That's why it's our show. How can I do it without you here? Dougie's Red Light District. Yep. Would you rather fight MVP or Sean Strickland? MVP, because he just pushes you over. I bet Big Dan cooked up Beltran have affected fights for the betting or bribes. I bet Herb Dean has. I bet they all have. Supposed to be buying a new car today, but it's a fucking mission. Good luck, Jim. Good luck, man. I hate having to go through that process of all the little bullshit and checking everything. You need a space for your 100k sub plaque when you get it. That is true. We'll sort it out. Maybe by then I'll have like... Because I could convert the entire office into a studio. So maybe by then I'll convert the entire office into the studio. Or maybe I'll just push the fake wall further back and we'll hang up the 100k plaque underneath the plaster trowel. We need a... What does that say? I forget the word. It's the spark thing. Tinsel. We need a tinsel sign for Christmas. I'll put tinsel around the sign for Christmas, Shyla. Would you rather kiss Islam or John Jones? Islam. I'd rather kiss Islam. John Jones would get too into it. What are you doing for Christmas, Dougie? This. I live on the beach. I'll be out my supboard doing MMA YouTube with the boys, drinking. Right, let's get into the UFC betting scandal. We got a lot of shit to cover. We do have a lot of shit to cover. Let's do it, boys. Canva, Tapology. I should have brought this up already. Why isn't it not coming up? It's already preloaded. Ah, there it is. Right. Let's get into it, lads. Let's get into it. We got a lot of stuff to get into. Okay. So this was back in the day. And if you guys remember my post-fight video, I talked about how David Onama also trains at Factory X, the gym that has been infected with James Krause's betting lines. This was back in the day. I hope everyone is doing well. So last night in his post-fight interview, Onama made a call out to Skinny Bets on the Instagram profile, and you see he's an MMA tipster. You can see that he made a large bet, 12 grand on the over 1.5 rounds of the Onama fight. Onama himself shared this bet and is telling people to follow Skinny Bets because he is a great tipster and such. After rewatching the fight, I noticed Onama had a very low pace for the first round and only went for the triangle exactly after the 2.5 minutes in the second round. The tipster also posted a video of him waiting for Onama to call him out live in the Octagon interview. This obviously tells us that he knew Onama would do this and they had some kind of deal. And then also again, how little Onama chooses to fight in the very first round of this weekend's card as well. So Onama is one of those people that seems to be involved in this betting scandal as well. Which, you know, makes Howie's first round look so weird all the more strange to me. There's other fighters that have also directly said they have been approached by betting companies to throw fights. So, I'll read some chats and then we'll get into this. Herb Dean would never. Herb Dean absolutely would, Johnny. What are you doing if we did that one? That dude was immediately cut. Immediately cut. How are you, UFC Master? Who remembers the GOAT, Steve Mazzagatti? You never knew what would happen with that maniac at the helm. The fight could be stopped early. The fight could be stopped late. Who the hell knows? James Krause scored with Lorosenko. True. Deep inside her guts. Thank you, Cheddhead. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude. We just did the light up, brother. You missed it by like 1 or 2, about 10 minutes. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Cheddhead. Just realized how easily it would be to make an over-under rig fights look convincing. Yep. This is the thing. How deep does this go? Say it again, Radke. How are you, Just Car for Life? I didn't think it was possible to bribe fighters. I was thinking just referees or judges. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani talking about how fighters let me just bring it up. Ariel Helwani talking about fighters being approached, and then fighters admitting to being approached as well. I don't think it was possible that we just did the one. Did you see withholding Delgani's pay? They are withholding his pay. Yeah, yeah. And that's good. They should. They absolutely should. How deep will this go? I'm balls deep in my local prosy, as you should be. That is what she is there for. As you absolutely should be. Where is it? Oh, I didn't highlight the clip. Where is it? I should have saved the clip. That's all right. We'll get into it on this end here. We'll get into it here. Right. Vince Morales. Vince Morales admits he is being approached for taking a dive. All this throwing a fight stuff is crazy. I have been approached about doing it, and it's not something that I could live with. I ended up losing those fights anyway. Then someone goes, how much were you offered to throw the fight? And he said it was offered pennies considering how big of a deal it is. He got offered 70K. Vince Morales got offered 70K to throw a fight. Crazy, man. They should let the Dougie community decide who gets cut. Fucking oath, Tyler. We know the best people to be in the UFC. We know the most entertaining fights. I think Nina could have something to do with the scandal. Dana was also posting with OnlyFans models to promote scam agencies. Mate, the whole thing could be a scam. The whole goddamn setup could be a scam. If NBA players who are getting paid millions more than UFC fighters are lying about injuries, etc., then lowly paid UFC fighters are definitely doing it. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Is it a short or a long stream today? I'll go for about 2 hours today. Delgarian's Bay is in escrow. Dude, Delgarian's Bay is in the fucking bin right now, Nacho. Tony Ferguson was bribed to lose 8 fights in a row. No way. He got nuffed that badly. It's the only thing I'll believe for Tony Ferguson's career. Only thing I'll believe. There's no way. I've been approached before. Bloke asked me to have a go at him in the mangroves. Disgusting, mate. Truly, how much did he offer? You know, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. If I was a UFC fighter that was losing and going to be cut, I'd take so many fucking bribes. Yeah, I mean, if you knew that you were on the last fight of your contract and it was a tough fight and there's a good chance you were going to lose it, you'd throw the fight. 70K for a loss on your career? Fuck that. Just sucks he already lost them. I know. Like, that is really not a lot of money to throw away your career. Imagine how many fewer fights would have inclined to throw fights if they made 50K to show. Well, again, Mr. C, NBA athletes are faking injuries to have under amount of court time. Like, that, you can say that. I get that argument. You know, James Lynch made that. Not James Lynch. Luke Thomas made that argument. A lot of people are making that argument. If only they were paid more. But I will make you the counter argument. NBA athletes are throwing games. NBA athletes are faking injuries to have less court time, and they're on literally $1 million contracts. And again, you've got corrupt politicians all the way up the board in every level of government, and they're making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Like, there doesn't seem to be a price cap on people wanting to throw away their career to make just a little bit more money. Also, Little Monster, Demi Demopoulos, Vanessa Demopoulos. Yeah, people have approached me to throw fights as well. My integrity could never. We've spent our life learning skills and honoring the sport. I can't believe people compromise their morals like this. So Vanessa Demopoulos has also come out and talked about how people have approached her to throw fights as well. Craziness that this is happening. Vanessa Demopoulos and Vince Morales have both admitted to people coming up to them and asking them to throw fights. Insane. Now, this is where it's all coming from. It's coming from Harry Mack. Federal regulators have flagged over 100 UFC fights this year for abnormal betting patterns, including 2 additional fighters on last night's card. I am telling you, that main event was fucking sus. The main event was fucking sus. Shit is about to get very ugly, still working to confirm, but it sounds like the feds are moving to audit Jason Herzog fights as well. I liked Jason Herzog. Herzog's a good kid. I thought Herzog was a good referee. Oh, God. Helwani is taking small amounts of Dalgarian's withheld pay every single day. Withhold his pay. It'll be all right. I saw some spud try to say Charles versus Gamrot was a fixed fight because Gamrot has never been subbed before. Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing now. Now we're in the world of conspiracy, Nacho, where the ridiculous is going to mix with the truthful, you know? This is the problem once we enter the world of conspiracy. You've got all the people that, you know, think the earth is flat, mixed in with the people that thinking maybe taking an experimental vaccine isn't the best idea in the world. Maybe taking a short notice experimental gene therapeutic isn't the best idea. And this could be why athletes are having heart attacks all over the world. And that sort of news is mixed in with the Palladians are speaking to us and the earth is flat. We are now in the shady world of conspiracy. People always cheat, let's be real. Yeah, people are always going to cheat. Who makes up the majority demographic of the NBA? That's your problem right there. Good old playful racism from Tyler. Nothing like it. Why would NBA players want less course time? Is it just laziness? No, so you can bet, just like in UFC, Shyla, whether or not a fight is going to go over a round and a half or over 2.5 rounds. You can bet whether or not a player is going to get a certain amount of court time or less. Just like how you can bet a fighter is going to land a certain amount of strikes or less. So what the NBA players have been doing is injuring themselves so they have less court time than it was assumed they were going to have, and then messing with the numbers there. I'm not saying no fighters would throw fights, but fewer. Yeah, fewer, mate. Yeah, fewer, mate. No closed captions for the live stream. Bigoted Dougie strikes again, discriminating deaf people. I don't have control over that, Jim. They're at fault. Of course they are, MMA Master. They always are. They apparently bribed Oralbly with 3 pigs and some chickens. And you know what he said to them, Dig? Oralbly went, well, it turns out Fedor is the heavyweight goat. You know what? Shotgun was right. Fedor Emelianenko might be the heavyweight goat. Who asked them to throw a fight? I would say it's people who own the gambling companies. Fighters say, I can't believe people accept the money, just clearly weren't offered enough. Yeah. All these guys that were like, I wouldn't do it for 70K. We're going to have to go back to betting on bum fights to keep it fair. I mean, they're going to have to get rid of betting. But even then, it's in the culture now. Like, people will just use offshore betting agencies, like a VPN, PayPal, a VPN, and some crypto. Like, if people want to bet, they'll bet. They bribed Tom to quit with the eye poke, 4 Yorkshire puddings, and the veneers. Unbelievable. I can't believe Tom Aspinall would do it. And for those veneers, disgusting. It's always the ones you least expect. It is. I called it, Dougie, about Herzog. I know, Just Car. I know, I was wrong. I was talking about that at the start of the stream, Just Car. The irony of me going into bat for Herzog, and then not 2 weeks later. Not 2 fucking weeks later. Jason Herzog. My favorite referee. Oh my God. Out of all of them, I truly can't believe it was Herzog. Herzog is the one with his name dropped. You know, you would think it was Herb Dean or good old early stoppage Mike Goddard, but no. I wonder if the betting companies have to get back all the money for those bets. No, they won't. The money will be gone. It'll be spent. No, they won't. They won't. It'll be federal charges. Herzog is a great ref. Let's say Steve Nguyen gets 7 knockdowns in a single bout. I thought that was good reffing, Mr. C. That's the crazy thing about it, man. Dana telling everyone to watch this fight card before they call it bad, then it turns out to be the most sus night ever. Right? Just some shitty little Apex card that no one was meant to notice. And now it's all fucking going downhill. If you were a UFC fighter and you knew you were being fed to an up-and-comer, would you work out some script to make them both yourselves some money? Well, apparently that's not what they do, Jim. They're not working out like some WWE script, but you know. Like, what we saw here was a first-round submission that he obviously threw himself into a lazy first-round submission. And if you go and you watch that fight, he was trying to get TKO'd. He was completely flattened out while Yaval, what was his name? Anyway, while what's his name was bashing in the back of his head. Holy shit, the side looks sick. Thank you, Mitch. The side looks fucking awesome, man. I know we did the light up a little bit earlier. It was great, man. Happens in football too. Literal oligarchs and oil billionaires own most of the biggest clubs. Yeah, it happens everywhere. Like anywhere where extra money can be made, they're gonna make it. You can literally bet on scripted WWE matches. Yeah, that is insane. How can we eliminate the fight fixing? We can't, Charlotte. That's the thing. It's always been part of fights. Always. From small underground boxing organizations all the way up to, I mean, it's not even fights now. Now literal NBA players are doing it. Like you can't stop an NBA player letting his mates know that he's going to roll his ankle in the first quarter. You can't, this is just, it is what it is. It is what it is. Ankalaev threw the fight against Pereira for a herd of goats. Source, Ankalaev threw that fight. He got paid 1,000 goats. Who in my audience wouldn't take that? What do you think Strickland's price is after seeing him call out Moneyberg live? Well, knowing that Strickland is all about the money, I think Strickland would do it for 5 mil. I bribed Islam to get knocked out with 72 virgins. Brother, this is a good deal, brother. It's literally Mafia doing it. The same people do it. It's literally the Mafia doing it if it's the same people doing the NBA stuff. And this is the problem, Nacho. Like, it's all connected in Vegas. Like, the Fertitas, the way the commission is now supporting the UFC. Like, it's... Who's involved? Are referees involved? This is what makes it so hard. Like, it's time to bring out the whiteboard. It's time to bring out the whiteboard to see who's involved, to draw the connections. Again, remember, the Nevada State Athletic Commission is now working with the UFC to abolish the Ali Act. They are hand in hand. They're literally working on federal regulation together. I'll go back and read some chats and we'll start making a spider's web. Herzog is one of them. He's one of them. UFC is the best it's ever been. Fuck the fans. Fight fixing is making it great. Veneers are kryptonite for British fighters. It's uncanny how many have lost since getting them. It's the new haircut, the veneers. It's the new haircut, right? They won't dare investigate Mike Beltran because he is one of them. Police gang members are all off limits. We'll see if they investigate Mike Beltran. It's not a bad see, It's not a bad look in, Mr. Smee. Smash the sign on New Year's Eve. No, we love the sign. Allowing bets on WWE is insane. That is literally insane. Beltran was making prisoners take bribes. Who knows what else he did? I mean, yeah, Mike Beltran is already known as a corrupt man. When the world needed Big John McCarthy the most, he vanished, but now he's coming back to put order into the MMA sphere. They could totally fuck with it and let people bet on whatever fight is fixed or not. Yeah, absolutely they could, Alpeg. What's up, Go to Tan? How are you, man? Ass and All's teammate saying I've never poked in 33 po fights. Anyone who does is 100% doing it intentionally and should be fired. And then he eye pokes. I know. It's just the fucking irony, Go to Tan. Hilarious. You can't make this shit up. You can't. I know. I agree, man. Did you see the classes in Europe to teach migrants that grape is wrong? I didn't, but I'm not surprised. Wait for the UFC Trump South Park episode. Oh, when it's all involved together, that is going to be good, dig. Mention the religion. Yep. Bribed all the Muslim fighters to lose this year by threatening them with crusades. They didn't want to deal with the Christian chads again. Well, it's because we're so back, Jim. It's because we're so back. This is why we need Yamasaki back. When that guy reffed, you knew the fights were legit because the loser was going to be an attempted murder victim. Yeah, no one was going to be tapping out of that fight early. Yamasaki was keeping him honest. Are you sure you're done? Are you sure? Are you sure? Dougie, do you want to enter Agatha? Oh my God, yes. This is the kind of community that I'm looking to build. You can bet on UFC politics on Bet365. Literally just a game. Well, just because you can bet on it doesn't mean that it's a game, but I mean, politics is just a game. Weird ass times to be in the UFC right now. It is. It's wild, isn't it? It's wild. We haven't really touched the judges yet. We will see their bullshit performances week in, week out. I think they're the most corrupt of everyone involved. Anonymous faces in the background. That's the other thing. The judges as well. And this is what I'm saying. So right now, you've got the UFC. We got the UFC. The UFC obviously is in partnership. Well, the UFC is obviously owned by TKO. The UFC and TKO are working with the California State Athletic Commission to literally change the fucking laws. which is crazy to say. Crazy to say. All right, these guys are all working together to change actual fucking laws in federal government. Actually fucking crazy to think about this. We haven't touched on the judges yet. That's what we're getting into now, Nacho. That is what we're getting into now. The anti-Delija thing is so MMA. MMA gods will call you on your bullshit. It's best just to shut the fuck up. Dude, it goes all the way back to when UFC had that fight night card. It was called UFC Knockouts. That's what they named one of their cards. Wasn't a single knockout on the entire card. Yamasaki never fixed a fight once. No, he allowed them all to go to the end. Michael Chandler is the exact type of guy to be involved in fight fixing. Kind of he is. He kind of is. And now the FBI are looking to investigate actual referees. And now the FBI are looking to investigate actual referees. So we have got TKO working with the state athletic commissions to change the laws, and now the FBI is looking into the actual referees themselves, Jason Herzog. Fucking craziness. Michael Chandler is we just did that one. Can we re-review Garn versus Jones? We know rigged fights have been back. Well, this is the thing, Jim. Welcome to the dominoes. Welcome to the butterfly effect. Shit is crazy now. What fights can we even trust? There have been many times I was thinking, what drugs are these judges smoking? Yeah, I know. When we've seen a whole bunch of fights going crazy directions. It's starting to make sense now. I wonder just how much Garn got paid for diving for John Jones. I bet he got paid a lot more than 70K, Cheddarhead. I fully believe the UFC would rig a fight to get their narrative and maximize profits. I mean, again, there are fights they do let be real, obviously. Like the Alex Pereira Magomed Ankalaev one, like Bilal Muhammad winning the belt, like Merab winning the belt. There are fights that clearly do not go the UFC's way. But smaller fights, absolutely. Garn versus John Jones is a weird fight. I was taking a walk today and I swear I saw MMA Joey trying to feed a bus a carrot. He seems like the kind of guy that would. I want to see who's depositing what into Sal Diamato's bank account. Sal Diamato and that other one, that Douglas one. But yeah, there are some fucking crooked judges out there for sure. Anyone saying John Jones and Garn is scripted is just coping. A middleweight in Imavov ragdolled the French fella. Heavyweight is so... Thank you, Cheddarhead, for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you, man. Lazy Boy got one. Pony got one. Dig got one. Ricky got one. And Deshaun got one. Well done, Deshaun, as well, for being the best picker in the corner community this week, Deshaun. Yeah, thank you, Chedhead. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the $5, brother. Thank you so much, dude. Go to Town was saying, anyone saying that John Jones is scripted is just coping. A middleweight in Imavov ragdolled Cyril Gane. Heavyweight is so ass, Almeida made it into 2 title eliminators just with having decent grappling and striking. Not to mention, he's practically just a light heavyweight. No, I get it, dude. And this is... I don't know to say that they are just coping. I don't know, K-Dot. Because Gane's never looked that bad before. Whereas heavyweight is slop and it does suck. This is the problem, right? You could say you're just coping because you think that that fight was scripted. However, the UFC really needed John Jones to win that fight. And Gane's never looked so bad. Even against Francis Ngannou's wrestling. Gane's never looked that bad in the wrestling. It does open up the questions to everything, man. Sal Diamato is 100% on Dana's payroll. I wonder which way Sal Diamato's fights tend to go, right? It's laughable how Aspinall couldn't sub Gane in 2 or 3 minutes. It's also laughable how Aspinall couldn't sub Gane. Yeah, but you're just an Aspinall hater, mate. Chandler definitely raises that kind. Chandler definitely raises that kind at least. Chandler definitely I don't know what you're saying. Oh, he raises that kind. You're making a racist joke. I get it. I'm with you. I get racism. I thought Jason Herzog was one of the good ones. So did I, Jim. So did I. You see Jake Paul accuse David of abuse and saying working with him was a nightmare. I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that. I mean, Jonta Davis didn't give a fuck about the build-up at all. Dana and cronies are shaking in their boots. Dana and his cronies are shaking in their boots. They are, Mr. C. Judging has gotten worse instead of better over the years. It's crazy. Yes, and so is ref officiating. Like, how come in the last, 90 days, we've seen just takesy-backsies allowed? Like, we've just seen fights allowed to go on. Again, they literally broke the rules to have Waldo Ortiz Acosta get back into that fight. To get the fight into the second round. They broke the rules. Jason Herzog with Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo said he couldn't see, and Jason Herzog literally said on camera, we're going to start the next round, and then that way we're going to go to a judge's decision. Why? Why start the next round? Why not just call the fight off? Why did Jason Herzog do that? In the Henry Cejudo Song Yudong fight, why did Jason Herzog say, we're going to end it, we're going to start the round, we're going to at least start the round, and then we'll get a decision? Why not just call the fight over and say the fight is over because of TKO eye poke and it's a no contest? How come we couldn't do a no contest? We had to get a decision for that fight. It would make sense though with Dana trying to make Jones look way better through Ngannou. Yeah, it would, Dig. Yeah. Every judge from Abu Dhabi is cooked, but they fly in. Again, they fly in judges from the Nevada State Athletic Commission. They fly in those judges into Abu Dhabi. They do have Muslim judges, but they also have their own judges as well. Big John was the best ref. He didn't always perform flawlessly, but he gave reasons for everything he did, and he wasn't afraid to say that he messed up. True. Very true, Mr. C. Yeah. I mean, no referee is going to be perfect all the time, but at least they can talk you through what they were thinking about. Dougie is on the UFC's payroll and planting narratives into our head. I mean, I'm literally trying to make like a spreadsheet conspiracy theory spiderweb about how the UFC has been rigging fights. So I'm pretty bad on the payroll if I am. Dougie knows exactly what's going on. I see through the matrix, Cheddar. Could be the answer to why Garn has the infinite title shot glitz. He did what he was told. Yes. Honestly, yes. Honestly, could be. It escalated quickly. It has, man. Bro, even Stipe gave Jones trouble in the stand-up, but Garn just folded over to Jones. That's what I mean. It's weird. What's up, Lobby TV? Thanks, Cheddarhead. Thank you to Cheddarhead. Fair, but Garn has never fought someone with Jones's level of grappling and top pressure. I get it. And I'm not saying you're wrong, K-Dot. There's reasons now why we have to start asking these questions. Ronda scored a massive W on her slander against Khabib and Rogan, in my opinion. Thoughts? No, not with the Rogan slander. I mean, Joe Rogan has sat cage side like 1,000 fights. I think he's a little bit more than just a fan with a big audience. Plus, he has done jiu-jitsu competitions and taekwondo competitions. So he has done competitions of different arts without doing mixed martial arts. Her slander against Khabib, no, I don't even agree with that, because I think there's fighters that have lost and moved on and aren't champions anymore that people still love. People still love Dominic Cruz. People still love Jose Aldo. People absolutely love Jose Aldo. People still love DC. No one says DC ain't shit, never was shit. No one fucking says that. People say DC was one of the greatest. No one says DC ain't shit, never was shit. Yeah, I don't think that's right. I mean, people still respect the fuck out of Usman, even though Usman was on a 3-fight skid. People still love Chuck. People still love Tito. Yeah, people still love Vanderlei. What now? What now? People still talk fondly of Overeem. Overeem never even won the belt. No, I disagree with Ronda. Yeah. Remember when Chael's friend, the judge, admitted he scored fights for a fighter that he thought the promotion wanted to win? I do remember that. I remember Chael talking about that as well. We all love to clown on Gay Jones, but he's still the guy who out-wrestled DC and only gave it 1 takedown, 6 seconds of bottom, and 40 total minute. No, you're right, You're right, Go-To-Ton. Like, John Jones is very, very good. It is one of those fights, though, where, especially with this information coming out now. I mean, the FBI is investigating 100 fights. Over 100 fights. The FBI is investigating over 100 fights. And TKO and the athletic commissions are absolutely in bed together. And now the FBI are going to be investigating it. I mean, it's... You've got to admit, K-Dot, that fights have to be questioned. I respect Jake Paul for KOing Woodley, Silva, and Mike Perry. UFC fighters like Bisping still hate him, even though they said respect him if he beat Silva. Imagine if he beat Francis. Oh, I know. I know. If he'd beaten Fran, it would be different. But he's not going to beat Francis. Francis doesn't even want to fight him. Francis said he was embarrassed for even being asked about it. Maybe all this is why Big John is coming back to Refik. Dude, if I was Big John, I'd stay the fuck away from it right now. People are going to go to prison. Herzog knew his bets wouldn't cash if Cejudo ended in no contest. That's what I'm saying. You ain't shit, never what? Yeah, that is just wrong. DC will always be a gangster. Exactly. Jake Paul didn't KO Silva. True, he didn't. She said that people say DC ain't shit, never was shit. No one says that about DC. No one. Only John Jones says DC ain't shit. Yeah, no one says that about DC or GSP. Ronda confirmed to me that I should have Rogan's job. I mean, any of us could have Rogan's job. I still love Joanna on J-Check. People still love Chael. There you go. The Garn Volkov robbery too. There's a lot of factors involved in this. We're going full tinfoil hat. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, come up with a list of 100 fights that just do not seem right. It's really easy to do. Come up with a list of over 100 fights that seem weird. Well, I mean, we do it every single weekend. This year, That's this year as well. Over 100 fights this year. When you just put it like this, just lay it out like just flat on a whiteboard. When you just, oh my God, yeah, of course. The referees just break the rules. The Magomed Ankalaev, Johnny Walker knee up the middle, that's just breaking the rules. Magomed Ankalaev, Johnny Walker with the knee up the middle, that was breaking the rules. That was meant to be a no contest. Or a DQ. That was meant to be a DQ, not a no contest. The Waldo Ortez Acosta thing, they literally broke the rules. Both Luke Thomas and Ariel Helwani confirmed this. Ariel Helwani said he was going to be emailing the Nevada State Athletic Commission and saying, what the fuck is going on? Like, when you just put it all out on a whiteboard like this, fuck is all I can say. Is fuck. 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 We're cooked. The UFC's fucking cooked. Alright, let me move on and read some chats. Sorry, guys. People still fuck with Chael, they do. Garn versus Volko was a robbery too, that we did that one. Bet I have a pick rate. I bet I have a better pick rate than Joe Rogan. I bet you do, Jim. I bet you do. People rallied behind how UFC did Aldo dirty in the end, even with these many losses. Yeah, people still love Jose Aldo. Yeah, that's what, yeah, I agree, Pig. Was Herzog the ref for Cannonier versus Caio Borrello? That might have been early stoppage. Mark Goddard. I'm not sure. The judges have to be questioned and the commissions. Yeah. Ronda's just mad she has no personality and winning is all she has. Yeah, and then all the fans fucking hate her. Yeah. 100 fights is nearly 2 months worth of cards. That means 2 out of every 110 fights this year are being investigated. I mean, how often do we sit here going, what the fuck was that? Dougie get a new site? No, I love my site, Super Gamer Productions. By Ronda's definition, Taekwondo isn't a combat sport. It's literally a full contact sport. By definition, if you get into a street fight, you ain't a fighter. Ronda isn't a fighter. Yeah, I mean, Judo isn't a full contact sport, Ronda. You know? I think Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley was the same. John Jones versus Reyes, Shevchenko versus Grasso, Paddy versus Jared Gordon. This is the problem. Yeah, Shyla, this is the thing. These close fights where it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, look, Sean O'Malley, the guy the UFC wants to win, just happened to win that fight. John Jones versus Reyes. Oh, the guy the UFC wants to win, John Jones, just happens to win that fight. Shevchenko versus Grasso. Paddy versus Jared Gordon. Oh, he just happens to win that fight. I lost so much money on that fucking Volkov robbery. Fair, Lobby. Fair, mate. People forget, man, they tried to rob Figgy against Montel Jackson. Yep. Price versus Lawler. Volkov versus Garn 2 was fixed in favor for Garn. Yep. Not much of a gambler. Can you bet on fights being stopped because of fouls like DC? Or I don't think so, no. Volk versus Islam 1. That one seemed clean to me. I thought it was 100 fights over time. No, it's 100 fights this year. Armin versus Charles. They wanted Posh Boy to beat permanent #1 contender and the big name so they could sell him better as the guy who went to a 29-28 decision with Islam as compared to Charles. Armin versus Charles Oliveira. They wanted the Posh Boy to beat the permanent #1 contender and a big name, so they could sell him better as the guy who went to a 29-28 decision with Islam as compared to Charles Oliveira. Yeah, it moves Armin Sarukian into the right picture. Same thing as Sean O'Malley over Petr Yan. And then with Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan, they rested Sean O'Malley for an entire year and then gave him the quick turnaround title shot against Jose Aldo. Pride's downfall was the rigged fights coming into fruition. Will it be the same as the UFC's? Could be. I don't know. Could be. Could be. Could be. Could be. Could be. Could be. Who got subbed by Islam? Not sure who you're talking about. They actually rig fights in Montel Jackson's favor by putting him as a plus 500 dog against promising prospects that should beat him. That powers him up to keep going. Don't forget UFC. We did that one. Every fight I bet on was rigged. I'm expecting my money back. Thank you. I know, go to ton. If it was 100 fights this year, why didn't we hear about it sooner? Well, the NBA case that is just wrapping up now took them 4 years. 4 years. So things are just starting to snowball now, MMA Master. Especially those fuck-ass women's MMA fights. Yep, Islam versus Easy Money. Islam is going to get crushed by JDM. UFC's corruption is perfect for boxing. Yep, yeah. Islam's manager has been saying how the best version of him, healthy, strong, and happy, if he does, prepared to have his ribs. If he loses, be prepared to hear his ribs were fucked. Oh, yeah. Right now, a few weeks out, Islam Makhachev couldn't be more healthy, Mitch. Once we destroy Islam Makhachev, it's over for him. Patty versus Jared Gordon, another one. Yeah, Patty versus Jared Gordon. Cash Patel, Trump, and Elon are all buddy-buddy with Dana, so how deep is this rabbit hole? Every fight that Cody Garbrandt lost was fixed. Does Dana step away from the UFC now? I don't know. It depends how this investigation goes. FBI are involved. They could have a Chinese dude dominating light heavyweight, so they gave Johnny Walker the super soldier serum. Yeah, they went, just kick him in the leg. He can't see. He hasn't got vision. Herzog was the ref. Oh my God. Herzog was the ref for Cannonier versus Imavov. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Herzog. Oh, fuck. Was he really the ref for that fight? Oh, fuck. So what do you reckon, chat? Do we just do like a lifestyle channel or something? Where do you reckon we take Dougie's Corner? Because, yeah, we're probably done. we're probably this probably isn't going to be a thing next year. This whole UFC thing, it's probably not going to be a thing next year. Twerking channel, beach and beer review channel. Yeah, we're going to have to maybe just like daily news and chats, just sort of daily news and chat, just lifestyle, men's lifestyle. Yeah, we'll do so. It'll be like the Man Show in 2030. We'll make a whole new The Man Show. We'll bring back The Man Show. Oh, fucking hell. We're so cooked. Oh, fuck. Herzog was the ref. Eric is 100% pick rate. Well, Eric is in the middle. I mean, let's not forget Eric is military. The biggest scandal. Eric is military and works for the government. Let's not. This is how Eric gets in as well. Let's not pretend we don't know. Eric is one of them, one of the stormtroopers. I get investigated by the CIA. Eric's a fed, just like his boy Nick. Oh my God. They will have to make everyone involved take a polygraph before every event from here on out. You won't be able to stop it, Kyle. The guy who the UFC wanted to win won. Who could have thought? Who could have guessed it? Imavov won instead of Cannonier. The French guy. The French contender won instead of the 40-year-old Jared Cannonier. Whoa! Paddy Pimblett won instead of the 36-year-old Jared Gordon. No way! Sean O'Malley won instead of Piotr Yan. Oh, fuck! Now let's rest Sean O'Malley for an entire year. And the other thing is, fighters have literally admitted. We've now got fighters admitting that they are being approached. Right? Fighters are admitting. Vince Morales and Vanessa Demopoulos just today. Oh my God, yeah, the scales. We're done. We are done, boys. We're done, boys. We're done. We're done. When you lay it out on a whiteboard, it's pretty bad, Nacho. How are you, Eric? Good to see you, man. The guy who the UFC wanted to win, Ali Abdelaziz, is involved with this somehow, I'm sure. Well, Ali Abdelaziz's emails between the UFC and the fighters that he represents is being brought up in court, actually, as part of the class action lawsuit that is going on. And Ali Abdelaziz has already been in trouble for working for the fight promoters under the PFL. He was already involved in dodgy fights over at the PFL. Why has this shit only got 7 likes? You guys are only giving this shit 7 likes. We lit up the sign. I've got the whiteboard out talking about how corrupt the UFC is. You guys are only giving me 7 likes for this shit? Unbelievable, man. John Jones's gloves got the glove change. Yeah, that's another one, dig. Just putting it out there. This stream might make us all look dumb. Just want to say to the general public, we're spitballing here. We are just spitballing here. Yeah, we're just going down the rabbit hole here, Alpeg. We're just questioning things now that this has all started to come out. I don't want to be that guy, but nothing happens. FBI Director Kash Patel is a MAGA buddy. Oh, there's nothing wrong with saying that, K-Dot. Absolutely nothing could happen. They are all in bed together. Like, Dana White is literally friends with the president. That is why the UFC is now using this time. This is why the UFC are now using this period of time to push through changes to the Ali Act, because they have the government on their side. Fire Dana White, hire Chael Sonnen so we can hear nothing about Conor's weight. I can't stop looking at Conor McGregor's dick. Chael, we're actually asking you about Islam Makhachev versus JDM, but how much weight can Conor McGregor put on the end of his dick? How much can he do it for? Let's go into all chat. Let me go back. It's not like NBA is ending over the scandal. The UFC will be fine just to get rid of the corrupt elements. Well, it's interesting, Nacho, because, you know, the steroid abuse thing killed baseball. And fight fixing did kill pride. Now, what's happening in the NBA is a couple of NBA athletes taking money and having less court time. What seems to be happening here in the UFC, at least from this tweet here, Nacho, is that it's the referees that are involved as well, which is the commissions. So now we're moving beyond just the corrupt elements, which is a couple of shit fighters. Now we're moving into questions about the commissions, the sanctioning bodies of the sport. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's bad. Dougie, I'm proud of you for coming out as a black Chinese lesbian. Thank you, Tino95. You could do Kurt Kaz style and walk around Melbourne looking at Machete Boys. We could do that, mate. Dougie's corner where you could be a prostitute. No, I'm calling FBI. Yep. Dougie would have 95% pick rate if the fights weren't fixed. It's true, Mr. C. Dougie picks would be 0, but no, they'd be 90, mate, they'd be 100%. I actually did get reached out to by the Fed in some sort of entrapment like a year and a half ago. Hey, fellow racist, we hate to do this, don't we? Tell me more. With 0 followers. Oh, no shit, Eric. They tried to honeypot you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hello, fellow racist. Imagine if we bombed you. You reckon Usman Buckley was a fix? No. UFC is cooked. UFC is cooked, man. Who could have predicted that relatively unknown fighter Dalgarian would end Dougie's YouTube dream? I know. The little push off the edge of the cliff. Now we know UFC purposely kept Bisping on ice to promote the ducking narrative and have Whittaker as a champ so they could market to an Australian audience. Exactly right, Jim. They held Whittaker back. Lay it out in a whiteboard, not a black... Thank you, Eric. Eric's in an extra racy mood today. It was nice knowing you guys. I'll be following rugby from here on out. Yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. This is why Lucas Tracy is stepping back. You know, there's a huge betting scandal hitting the UFC. Well, I'm out to Peaches and Creamville, guys. That other job that I had going, convincing everyone to make horrible picks for 10 years. I'm out of here, guys. I'll put $1,000 bet on anyone who wants to say the UFC will be operating as normal this time next year. Well, again, Nacho, I don't hate that bet. I don't hate that bet either. It took the FBI 4 years to do something about the NBA, and the class action lawsuit that's been going on has taken, what is the class action lawsuit that's been going on? The class action lawsuit's been going on for 5 or 6 years, and James Krause has been going on for 3 years, and he still hasn't been charged yet. You know, these things take a lot of time, Nacho. So I don't think saying that the UFC is operating as normal next year is a crazy thing to say at all. We're degenerates, Dougie. Nothing's going to change. We're going to keep betting, and they're going to keep rigging it. I guess so. I guess we're just going to fall asleep and just act like, yeah, this is all legit, and we'll keep gambling on it, and we'll keep laughing at WWE for being rigged fights. What normal person has ever gotten staff rolling around on the ground? Well, Don Calamari, have you ever seen those Muslim training camps? It's a pool of sweat. It's disgusting. Won't like it until you invite Colby Covington. I'll never invite over Colby Covington. If the White House card happens, it could be the most corrupt sporting event ever. I mean, they are going to get paid a lot of money for that. Nacho, if you're wrong, you could pay me. I'll be right. Pretend this convo never happened. Argenti style. Whoa, Giuliano Argenti's name has been thrown around MMA YouTube plenty this week. Baseball ratings are actually up. Well, good for baseball. I missed one or two weekends. I missed one weekend and the biggest story of the year breaks out. Conveniently, Eric wasn't there. Pulling the strings behind the scenes. MMA is out. Indian boxing channel. Every single time, Eric, I know. Whenever you're not looking, your team starts winning. Whenever you don't watch MMA, the biggest scandal hits. Hopefully, Kadyrov buys the UFC. Imagine Kadyrov as CEO and promoter at the press conferences. Now we're fucking talking. Fighters will sign the contracts. Power Slap is the next big thing. This is going to be a Power Slap channel, everyone. William Montgomery, I hear the UFC is fixing fights. Ain't no one getting pregnant, y'all. Ain't no one doing that, y'all. TJ's fight with a messed up shoulder or one-eyed fighters where the doctors are corrupt as well. UFC MMA Master, I remember that fight. That was one of my early videos. One of my early videos where I was screaming bloody murder. Why is there not a class action lawsuit against the UFC? They knew that TJ Dillashaw had a messed up shoulder and they still allowed the fight to happen. Literally the last time I went away from my day-to-day life, I was shipped off to I got shipped off to boot camp when you went away from your day-to-day life, and that is when the big lie dropped. This is why, Eric, we must stick to our routine. Big meaty hooks! Time to start betting on the underdogs. It is, mate. To be fair, Pride didn't go down because the fight fixing. The Japanese had more of a problem with the Yakuza aspect. Yeah, that is true. Which, again, this depends, like, are they going to throw a couple of fighters under the bus? Are they going to throw just Jason Herzog under the bus? Are they going to throw one referee under the bus? Like, it depends. Is it the entire commission or a couple of referees? It depends. I think the silver lining is that now fixing has been exposed. There will be much less of it. You'd hope so, Shiloh. You'd hope so. People forget, man, Lucas Tracy quit again when the rigging scandal was revealed. Exactly. So let's... How is the way to pose this question? 100 fights this year is like 20% of the fights. Okay, so according to the FBI, they're investigating over 100 fights. 100 fights. Lucas is retiring again, Eric. Lucas is quitting again. Yeah, he put a post up. He put a post on his community tab on his YouTube channel. Let's say that the FBI is investigating these 100 fights. We've now laid out our evidence for how the UFC does fix fights, if they are fixing fights. Right? They've got the in-house testing. We've literally seen referees just break the rules multiple times for some reason. TKO and the UFC are quite literally working with the government to change the laws in combat sports. We have seen the scales wobble for certain fighters, just this time with Umar Nurmagomedov. We've literally had fighters admit to them being made offers to throw fights. How much do you believe that 20% of the fights this year have been fixed? Let me know in chat. People forget, man. Where am I up to? Lucas Tracy quit when the rigging scandal was revealed. If Slobodan Milosevic was still alive, he has my vote to replace Dana White. Fucking based, Mr. C. Kid didn't want to fight. Kid didn't want to fight, you know. Oh, we're doing it as Ramazan Kadyrov. Kid did not want to fight. Kid did not want to fight. His family have also gone missing. Huge explosion at house. Very sad. Huge explosion. The Garn-Jones fight was fixed. This seems to be the one that most people believe was fixed. Oh! The fact that Tim... What? What have I done, Chedhead? Does it not make sense? It makes sense, Chedhead. I explained it. Chedhead. It makes sense. Does it not make sense? Let me read it. How much do you believe 20% of the fights are fixed? Do you believe it 30%? You believe it 50%? You believe it 70%? You believe it 90%? Yeah, how many of you believe it? Like, how much are you believing it? How many of you believe it? A little bit? Half and half? You mostly believe it? You absolutely believe it? The poll makes no sense. Shall we just do a yes or no, chat? Let's do a yes or no. There you go. That's simpler for you people. Yes, maybe, no. Okay, we'll do that. That's simple. Keep it simple for you people. You guys aren't as intelligent as me. You know, I forget that you guys don't have the ability to think, you know. You don't have the ability to picture things. It's got to be very like, I like the red button or the blue button. I forget that I'm on MMA YouTube sometimes. That's okay. Thank you, Cheddarhead. I appreciate you, mate. Where was I up to? One arm TJ or Justin Gaethje. One arm TJ or the one arm TJ fight, not with the one arm fighter that Justin Gaethje fought. Lucas retiring twice in a 12-month period is crafty. It's a crafty move. It builds hype. Builds hype. Can't imagine he has nothing to do with the Jays. Okay, thank you. Of course, it's got something to do with the Jays. Imagine if Ariel became the new UFC president. Things would get even worse. Lucas did quit again. You could probably ask AI every fight in the UFC that has seemed rigged this year. You probably could, Jim. Go through each card and pick about 3 fights that are suspect, hand it over to the feds and see if it corroborates. Mr. C gets it. Why did Lucas quit again? Because the news has come out about the fight rigging. I want to know a list of all the fights that are being investigated. Me too, Bilal. I bet we could write a list of a bunch of them, man. What in the dyslexia is this poll? Yes. He was one of big 3 to not be like, if you liked it, we will 100% do it again. He was the only one of the big 3 to not be like, if you liked it, we will 100% do it again. Oh, in the collab that Lucas and Bedtime did. He was the only one that didn't want to do it again. Fair. Bloody hell, I'm like, you are late, Rob's neighbor. It would be easy for Dana to not answer any tough questions and sweep this under the rug. Oh, Dana's not going to be fucking answering shit, mate. What's up, Tone? Haven't seen you in a minute, Tone. How you been, dude? So Lucas was the guy who went into Hard Rock and put a bet on Max DeVille round 1. Oh, mate, that Lucas is retired. Lucas is like, I did it. I got it. RIP English? True. Keep it simple. The guy with dyslexia? Exactly. 20% is absurd. You fucked up there, Nacho, while insulting him. True. Just because you can think the words in your head because you can't spell doesn't make you special. We can picture words and images. Read that perfectly, Nacho. Boom! Eric's nose, Ariel's nose would get larger and larger for the money. Oh, dude, Ariel, when he gets approached by the betting companies. Dana is one of the best parts of the UFC. It'll suck if he ever leaves. Did you watch my video today, Joey? You'd hate it. There's no nuance on the internet. You're either the best fighter or the worst fighter ever. True, Mr. C. Very true. Very true. We are doing No Nut November. Absolutely not. Better MMA. I'll be nutting all over the place. So, was Mo Usman the scapegoat? Mo Usman was the one fighter where they were like, he's on steroids. Any reporter who asks about this will be banned instantly. Oh my god, yes. They ain't gonna do... for the next year, everyone's gonna be told to not say shit. In fact, there's already fighters saying, I'm not involved with this in any way. And you could tell that an email went out. Where is it? Yeah, Garrett Armfield is already on it. Garrett Armfield is already fucking protecting himself. You gotta love it. Garrett Armfield is already like, yeah, fuck this. I want to make something very clear. Any rain bet slip that I post are simply just advertisements. I've never placed a bet on the sport, including the UFC. As a professional athlete, I fully support and stand by the integrity of the UFC and the sport of mixed martial arts. I didn't do nothing. Even though I've been posting bets, they're not real bets. I'm not involved. I don't know what's going on. I didn't do this. The fucking emails have already started going out to the fighters. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. This is a keep it quiet. Just like exactly what happened with Raja. You know, when Raja beat the shit out of Psycho Steve or Psycho Stu. And they told him to shut the fuck up. Honestly, I can't even remember most of the cards this year. It's been a perfect time for them to rig the fights before the Paramount deal. I mean, if they've probably been doing it ever since like sports betting became legal, Jim. I love how in your video from earlier you said that Magny fought Jimmy Crute and not Jake Matthews. Same fucking thing, T995. You know what I mean? What did you say to me for? You're good, Nacho. He glanced over it. Doesn't matter. We are the reporters. Exactly, Alpig. If you get into the UFC as a Conor fanboy, you're not an OG. We're absolutely OGs, mate. We've been here for 10 years. Well, we're not OGs, but we're hardcores. We have been here for 10. We're honorary OG. We're the millennials. The Conor generation of the millennials. Nacho and Shotgun are the boomers of MMA. They're the OGs. They're the boomers. We're the millennials, and all these venom-wearing, DraftKings, Apex card-watching, post-pandemic watchers, they're the Gen Zs of MMA. Quick way to fix half the problem. Use only new judges and new refs. Don't fix the problem with the fighters, coaches, and the promotion, but it fixes nearly half the problem. Yeah, just swap them all out. True. How did Muhammad Usman pop but not Kamaru? Exactly. Better. Exactly. If I was in a cage, none of these fights would be fixed. Of course not, Eric. Of course not. And everyone would be getting raped. Any bets I've won are perfectly legal fights. I have lost all... Yeah, any bets that I've won, these are allowed. I'm okay with these bets. The illegal ones, dude, that Yuri Glover one, I'm telling you. Dude, Jimmy Crute or Jake Matthews, whichever one, literally versus Neil Magny, is a fucked up fight. They broke the rules for the fight. That you're not allowed to do takesy-backsies. Aspinall's teammate said he got robbed from that KO loss. Aspinall's teammate said he got robbed from that KO. He did. According to the rules, he did. He did. I went over this. Then Ariel Helwani went over this today. And Luke Thomas went over this. He did get robbed. They broke the rules. The fight was not allowed to continue. A fight-ending sequence, the fight shall not be resumed. This is what I mean. The referees are literally just breaking the rules to get it to go into the second round. Why the fuck did Henry Cejudo continue after the Song Yudong fight? What the fuck is going on? They just break the rules. I bet $20,000 on Psycho Stew to go to the second round. Bullshit. Bullshit, I tell you. Why didn't Psycho Stew continue to survive? Paramount shaking their heads right now. They seriously are, Eric. Paramount are like, what the fuck did we just spend so much money for? Oh my god. Elder millennial? You're an elder millennial? No, Eric, you're a... When did you start watching, Eric? When did you start watching? What if your first card was after UFC 300? You are not even born yet. You're a Gen Alpha. Anyone agree all of us would run the UFC better right now? Yes, Super Gamer. All of us collectively. Ask AI to speculate what fights are most suspicious for the chat. Give us some interesting example. All right, Don Calamar, we can do that. Let me catch up and read some chats, but I'll definitely do that when I get to the bottom. How long have I been going for? We're going to be wrapping up soon. Speaking of getting Rajad, Guru is touring America next year. No joke, if I was him, I'd hire security. I think he should hire security, yeah. If I was Guru, I'd hire security. I love the main card a lot for New York. Benil BSD opening it up. Leon Carlos Prates, Brady Morales, and then 2 super fights. I like it as well, Micah. It's a good... We're ending the year nice with the main events. Yeah. You hate John Jones and Dana White because you're a little virgin? You're a weird guy, Johnny. That's true because a UFC went at... That's true. I became a UFC fan at 261. Before that, my uncle told me about Conor. I remember he talked about that fight with Khabib years ago. Super Gamer agrees with me. He's a Gen Z. If the rigged ones get revealed, you need to go through everyone's picks and readjust. Have fun with that. Fuck that. Fuck that, LP. Fuck all of that. I think the refs are also stupid and don't know the rules. But I mean, when they reset the fight in the Waldo Ortiz Acosta thing, the commission was there. Like, Mark Goddard was on the side with the commission. How do they not know the rules? Lose a fight and then say you threw it so it gets overturned? Genius, better anime. Vegas and Albuquerque, New Mexico are no-go zones. For who? For Guru? Picking fixed fights is part of the game. Your pick rate stays the same. I know which fights are going to be picked. What's up, Christian Gray? How are you, man? You did not start watching at UFC 1. Wrong. You did not start watching at UFC 1. How are you, Christian Gray?
Why are you gay? You are gay.
There you go, mate. Just for you, brother. I'm involved in the scandal. I've been playing American Fighters to Lose for years. I'm involved in the scandal. I've been paying for the American Fighters to Lose. That's why they don't have a single UFC champion. You know why I said Albuquerque? Yes, John Jones is cruising around. OGs knows that Travis Lutter is the Michael Jordan of MMA. No, that's not true. Why doesn't anyone tour Australia? Because you lose half your paycheck and there is no point. Ariel will KO Guru live on his studio. Dude, we need to make a video. Not this stream because we're out of time. But we need to make a stream where we collaborate all the things that Guru has ever said that Ariel will play back on the big screen behind him in one long montage. And Guru's just going to have to sit there like... If he hasn't been attacked in England, I doubt it will happen in America. Bigger place has less liberals and less muzzies. This is true, Eric. That's a good point. No, you dyslexic legend, I've already asked. To ask ChatGPT. I'll get to it, mate. All my homies hate John Jones. True. Ariel might actually set Guru up. I wouldn't be shocked if he takes a few fighters to catch him on his way out. No, Ariel wouldn't do that. No. UFC 1? UFC 1? You didn't start watching at UFC 1, Eric. I know you didn't, mate. If Herzog refs another fight in the UFC, you have to do a wine and beach stream. No, I don't have to do a wine and beach stream. I disagree, Nacho. I believe Ariel has pillow hands. Guru's not sure. We'll find out. We'll find out. All right. So let me ask ChatGPT. Let me ask Grok. Let me ask Grok. Are you aware of the UFC betting scandal and the FBI Let's see what Grok says. I'm aware of the emerging UFC betting scandal that has blown up this week as of November 4th, 2025. It's considered around suspicious activity in the Isaac Dilgarian versus Davil fight from UFC Vegas 110. Key details in the scandal, blah, 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 blah. All right. Can you give me a list of which fights would be most likely rigged? Let's see what she says. Let's see what old Grok says. Let me read some chats. Feel like Ariel will genuinely mog Guru in real life. Home turf advantage. He's going to make Guru look like a cunt. Yeah, but I think Guru doesn't mind if Ariel makes him look like a cunt because Guru knows it's going to be good content. And then Guru can make a counter video. Like, this is YouTube, right? Ariel attacks Guru in person. Great views. Then Guru makes a counter video. Great views. Then Ariel makes a counter video to that. Great view. Like, this is, yeah. Super Gamer gets it. Like, this is great for everyone. He hasn't been attacked in England because he lives in a gated community and he doesn't leave his house. Ariel will do Guru what Ben Shapiro is doing to Nick. Our boy, Nick. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Doug, you want to head up Alice Springs when I come down under? No fucking way am I driving into the desert with a random guy from YouTube. UFC -1. Yeah, UFC 0.5. Guru invites himself to parties, to Ariel's party. Looks as lovely as your cousins. Oh, thank you, mate. But the problem with Alice Springs is that they are there. You know what I mean? Thank you, Christian Gray, for re-upping your membership, man. I appreciate it, dude. Ariel 2 years ago condemning Guru is now getting 40k views and seeing Guru Mighty Mouse getting 400k views. The dollars, exactly. Ariel knows what's good for business, mate. Ariel knows what's good for business. Also, the people Guru shit talks in England live in different parts of England. Leon, Paddy, and Dern are all from way out there. Yeah, they don't live in Central. Also, Central London's got millions of people. It'd be very weird to just bump into Guru. Like, even if you were both out in London at the same time. Gronk is not giving us any specific fights that could be fixed. What's up, Matthew Drake? How are you, man? Guru will end up on Ariel's show once a week at some point in 2026, probably. Guru lived in London? Yes, I know. She fool. I nearly said the N-word. The first UFC I saw was actually the first UFC, was UFC 14 on VHS tape from a video store. It was about 2 years after the fact, though. Then after I got pay TV, I could watch more. I was about 20. That's awesome, Alpeg. You are a boomer. Well done. Welcome to being an OG. You're a boomer. Dougie, want to hit up Wolf Creek when I come down under? No. No, no, no. We need Gypsy Crusader to fight on Misfits. Leave him alone. Guru versus Ian the cuck. Who wins? Guru. I got Guru because he's not a cuck. Exactly. Based Indian Christian Grey. Exactly. Guru is saving himself for a special fan. Oh, yeah, you know. Gypsy Crusader will genuinely shit on everyone on Misfits. Oh, yeah, he destroyed them. Massive chin. Never go to Alice Springs. Different flavor of chocolate, but it's all machete, baby. Don Calamari gets it. And he said it just the right way where I can say it on YouTube. That's good. No, I'm not a boomer. I'm an old Gen Xer. No, not if you're watching UFC 14. No, Gen Xers, maybe Gen Xers are probably Zuffa era. Like UFC 100 to UFC 200, like prime Zuffa era. And boomers are like UFC, pre-UFC 100. And then millennials are like the Connor era, the Reebok era. You know what I mean? That's millennials. And then Gen Zs are the pandemic Venom era. Yes. My parents are boomers. Everyone's parents are boomers. You don't have to be a boomer. Not everybody starts watching at age... You don't have to be a boomer. Not everyone starts watching at age 35. What are you talking about, man? When you hit up Serbia next, you're going to do some IRL streams? Fucking oath, mate. I'm a boomer. See, Charlotte's an old head. She's a boomer. I would never go to Alice Springs. Just watched a video about Spanian going there. Yeah, let's oh! Yeah, it's Alice Springs is cooked, mate. Too many of them. You know? Too many of them. Oh, shit. Fuck, man. Jason Herzog did Derek Lewis versus Teixeira. Remember this one? Remember this one? The weird knockdown that turned out to be a KO. Shit, man. Oh, man. He used the cage to get up. He did. He did. But it was called off as a TKO. It wasn't called as not the cage to get up. He didn't stop the fight. I know he climbed up the cage, but he didn't stop the fight to give him a point. If he was stopping him for climbing up the cage, he would have stopped him to give him a point. Like, that one was a weird one that we all argued about. Spence grabs bad stoppages. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Gen X is born from 65 to 80. I'm born at 75. This doesn't even make any sense. Oh, what are you talking about, the UFC fight cards? Like, Gen X starts from UFC 65 to UFC 80. I think it's better to just round it off at 100. Let's not go full schizo the opposite way. Jason Herzog popped out from underneath the... Jason Herzog popped out from underneath the hatch under the octagon. Lando Venata says he was approached 7 times. Lando Venata says he was approached 7 times to throw a fight. 7 times. In that fight sequence, you think that one is fair? Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Lando Venata has tweeted, I was approached 7 times to throw a fight. Crazy, man. You're old, Alpeg. It's okay to admit it. Yeah, that's all right, Alpeg. People really don't understand this blunt force trauma, do they? Just because he wasn't on the floor twitching doesn't mean he wasn't KO'd. Derek's hands are like sledgehammers. This is true. Derek fucking throws like a monster. Also, yeah, the UFC knew about the line movement and spoke to Delgarian about it. And then the UFC just allowed the fight to still happen. Crazy, man. Did this dude skip my comment or is YouTube censoring me again? Let's have a look, Jim. First time I watched the UFC was some Czech Congo fight after playing UFC Undisputed with my brother. Oh, sick, man. Then I got heavily invested in Roy Nelson's career. Dude, you are a boomer. We'll give you UFC boomer status. Yeah. If Jamal Hill fought Anthony the Quitter Smith, Anthony would be champ right now. That is a hot take, and I disagree with that. Ref would turn a blind eye for a cheater like John Jones. I mean, John Jones did an interview admitting to eye pokes and still does eye pokes. Not fixing fights, just, I'm not fixing fights, I just stop them when I stop them. It's completely different. Mate, I'm not fixing the fights, I just stop. It's a good stoppage, mate. It's a good stoppage. Guy must have the weakest headache, the wackest headache the next day. Oh, yeah, from being smashed in by fucking Derek. Yep. Jason Herzog is a dirty picking. I skipped the middle word, Shadowhead. Did this do... We did that one. It's like when people say Alex didn't KO Ank. Did you see the... Oh, no, I think Alex KO'd Ank. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell her when she's fucking done. Is the UFC in another lawsuit? They are in a current lawsuit right now, yeah. I feel like some fighters are going to say they were approached even when they weren't. Just like when 20 women claim a guy SA'd them over. Why would they, James? Like, what would they get out? Like, when a woman says it, she's getting money out of it. She's suing somebody. Why would fighters say they've been approached when they haven't? What would they possibly get out of it? Been busy. What's going on with the gambling stuff? You kind of caught us right at the end, mixed martial artists. I'm about to get out of here, man. But we've just gone down the rabbit hole a little bit, let ourselves get conspiratorial with it. I could wrap it up like this, since we are, you know, wrapping it up. TKO and the UFC are being, apparently they are being investigated for over 100 fights this year. And the referee, including Jason Herzog. I'm speculating just how much the UFC are involved with this when you look at the fact that UFC and TKO are literally working with the government to change the laws. UFC are now in control of their own in-house testing. We've recently seen the referees literally break the rules to change the outcomes of fights. We know that the scales are fucked with. And now during the stream, I've brought up tweets of multiple fighters, 3 fighters, talking about how they have been admitted, how they have been approached to throw fights. So, yeah, it's not good. We still need Paul Felder Fight Matrix now. We know the UFC played for Dan Hooker to get the decision. True. Paul Felder is a 10 out of 10 fighter in every aspect. I got an email regarding the JDM coffee cup. What does it say? It says it'll be here today. Oh, those dates. They're dates. That's awesome, Cheddarhead. I can't wait. JDM coffee cup for you guys. That's amazing. That's fucking awesome. I'm so excited for you guys. They could use it to seem... Where am I up to? UFC is set, to be honest. Paramount deal just got signed. It hasn't even been started yet. They'll fix everything by the end of the contract. By the end of the 7 years, yeah, that'll be fixed by then. Attention, the same as women. Attention. You think they're literally just doing it for some attention? Maybe. But women are doing it for money, not just the attention. Women are literally doing it for money. They're accusing people of it. They could use it to seem based, like never took bribes from like a Chad. Yeah, they could do that, like to build some social clout. That's not a bad idea. Who were the 3? Let me have a look. Vanessa Demopoulos, Vince Morales, and then there was one other fighter who I didn't bookmark, but we just talked about them. Vince Morales. No, not Vince Morales. Where was it? Lenando Venata. I'll bookmark this now so I have it. So Lenando Venata, Vince Morales, and Vanessa Demopoulos. Yeah, they're the 3. A bunch of nobodies. Yeah, but that's what they've seemed to be doing. They seem to be rigging a bunch of nobody fights at the Apex that no one's going to notice. White House main event, Bo Nickel versus some unranked fighter. I can't say I'm surprised, neither can I. Man, the result of Bobby Green versus Dawson just makes no sense. This is the thing. This is why we're letting ourselves get conspiratorial with it today. Yeah, feels like validating that my conspiracies about MMA and gambling seem to be on track. This is why we had the conspiracy stream today, the great conspiracy stream. I'm not a boomer. Google says a millennial. Thank you, Goomer. You know, guys, again, I'm not saying you guys are literally boomers if you started watching it in UFC 1. I'm saying, like, in MMA terms, like, if you started watching UFC 1 to UFC 100, you're an MMA boomer. Yeah? Like, Alpeg and Shyler and you guys that, again, like, getting real... I'm saying in MMA terms, you're an MMA boomer. Like, you're a Gen Z if you start... You're a new generation fan. You guys get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Everyone in chat voted for Paul Felder Fighter Matrix to be next stream. Trust me, I wouldn't rig it otherwise. Paul Smokes Oliveira, no problem. True. Those are the ones that have spoken up too. Who knows who hasn't said anything? The big names. Well, that's right, Eric. That's right. It's time to get back into comic books. UFC is done. Yep. He's not calling you a boomer. He's giving you 5 big booms. Okay. That's it. That's gonna do. That'll do. That's the end of the stream, boys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. You guys are absolutely bloody legends. Chat ahead. I'm so excited for your JDM coffee cup to come. I can't wait to see your JDM coffee cup when it comes, chat ahead. I'm pumped for that, mate. Pumped for that, guys. Again, if you want to get your coffee cup, you can go to the store. Not just the coffee cup, hoodie, t-shirt, whatever you want, your JDM We Love Pingers shit. But that'll do. Calling a Gen Xer a boomer hurts inside of me. It's just a joke, guys. It's just a turn of phrase, all right? It's just a joke, yeah? Like, you've been watching for so long, you're an MMA boomer. These are just little jokes. Damn these Connor era. These are just, you know, jokes. They're just jokes, guys. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you. The sign is glorious. We've got the new sign. We're in a new era of the channel. The Dougie's Corner sign era. Your sign looks like it came from India. It's Melbourne made, mate. I don't even know what a pinger means. Ecstasy. Chat ahead. You're drinking from a coffee cup that says, I love ecstasy. 6-minute stream. Hour 45. Good stream today. Goated stream today. Nice stream. Good, strong stream. Like a good, strong piss. But I'm out of here, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. Shall I do a video tomorrow wrapping up our... I feel like I have to tomorrow, right? I need to do a video tomorrow talking about our conspiracy. I think this has to be tomorrow's video, like summarizing our little conspiracy. How many of the fights do we think are rigged? How bad is Jason Herzog? You know? I think I'll have to do a conspiracy video tomorrow. I love it even more now. Yeah, there you go, Cheddar. There you go. Have a good day. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the morning. Dougie's lazy. Literally the hardest working MMA YouTuber. Do construction and MMA YouTube at the same time. No video, nothing to talk about. I think we should. Let's see how drastic of a change everything is this weekend. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. If Derek walked over to you and told you he'd give you a glizzy, disgusting. But that's it. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. What do I give in? A hot dog from Derek Lewis? Maybe. Stop mentioning the sign. I'm already wet enough. Okay, that's just disgusting. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all so much for joining me. How strict will the refs and fighters be to avoid looking suspicious? Yeah. Let's see how this week's Apex card looks. It'd be crazy, right? Ask Lucas if you could have his channel. You know, if Lucas doesn't want to do his channel anymore, I'll just take his subs. Get W to do a 24-hour stream. I can't. I've got a big renovation this week. I'm doing a massive renovation this week. That's why the streams might be a little bit later and they might be a little bit shorter because I'm doing a massive renovation this week. Yeah. Let's raid MMA Guru. Is Guru on? Is Guru on? Let's have a look. Is the MMA Guru live? MMA Guru is live. MMA Guru is live. There you go, guys. Go watch MMA Guru. Let's raid him back. Go watch MMA Guru. Tell MMA Guru it's a Dougie's Corner raid. Let's flood his chat. Who's MMA? He's a new up-and-coming young YouTuber. I reckon he'll be all right. I reckon he'll make it. I do. Old MMA Guru. I think he's going to make it. So go raid Guru. Tell him it's a Dougie's Corner raid. MMA Guru's name is not that many symbols on a keyboard. I don't know what you're even saying anymore. It's literally just a copy and pasted link. I can't handle the fucking raw autism spigot that is the chat sometimes. Go Mog Guru. Tell him it's a Dougie raid. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. See you guys. Bye. Appreciate all of you. Love all of you. Best MMA channel. Best MMA chat. See you guys. Goodbye. Bye, bye, bye.